Yeah. Well, hello there. Welcome to the Obi Thorn Alliance. We are doing a new live stream series called Getting to Know You with a Twist. And this is our first episode, and the very special guest we have here is Wilson. And would you like to introduce yourself, Wilson?
Sure. You guys can call me Wilson. My channel's name is Useless Skills here on YouTube and on the TikToks for the young kids. And yeah, I mostly just do quick movie reviews within 5 minutes or so to get people amped, hopefully in line to go see a movie or on their way to see a movie. And that way it's like a quick, should I go see this? Should I not? Kind of stuff. And yeah, and I try to do it without spoiling it, obviously. But yeah, that's my channel.
Cool. How many subscribers do you have at the moment?
Oof. Definitely less than 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing YouTube for and TikTok?
The TikTok I started just last year, like midway through the year. And then YouTube, I think it's been a year now. I would say fully like a year. Yeah. But again, on and off, I'm in school, so I'm not giving it 1,000%. Like, you guys, I see your guys' channel all the time. I'm like, oh, you guys are out there. You guys are doing it.
What are you doing in school?
Oh, I'm actually in school to be a rad tech, radiation technician.
Ooh,
take x-rays of, people. That's basically what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
And what have you learned in your year of doing YouTube?
Oof. To not pay attention to subscriber numbers, for example. That's why I don't know how many actual subscribers I have. Negative comments also, and surprisingly positive comments, because even though they are good, but if you are chasing that, you lose track of why you're doing. Because for me, this is like a hobby that if it takes off, that's great. But initially it is just a hobby because I love talking about, movies and shows and stuff like that. So if it takes off, that's great. But I initially made it a hobby. And then when I started getting the positive comments and started gaining the subscribers, I started chasing that more and more to, basically replace my day-to-day. So, but then it got discouraging when the numbers didn't climb or when I got the negative comments. So, leaning too heavily into one or the other. Basically anything outside of yourself really brings down what you're trying to do. So I feel like just focusing on, what initially I wanted to do kind of has brought me back, especially like the last couple of months, back to a good rhythm of putting out stuff and being proud of what I'm putting out and being happy to do it, which is the most important part.
Very good to hear. What is your most proud YouTube video that you've done, and what is it that made it proud for you?
Okay. One of my most proud videos was actually about, I forgot the name of the movie, but it's Sharks. I think it's Sharks in Paris. It's like a Netflix movie, and there's sharks in the Louvre, and it was a fun little movie. Very, very bad, but super fun. And for that movie, because I thought it wasn't a serious review, I decided to do some cool little editing stuff where I put stuff about music that I like and stuff into it. So it made it interesting for me because I was like, I don't have to do this as like a regular movie review like everything else. I gotta have fun with it. It's not in theaters, it's a streaming movie. So, and that was really one of the ones that I'm really proud of because I got to play with editing and get into the software and do a bunch of stuff like that. That was really fun.
And before we get into the planned questions, we always like to ask people as well, how many movies did you watch last year, if you know?
Oh boy, do I know? I watched a lot. Surprisingly, towards the end of the year, I thought I didn't watch a lot. And then when the Oscars was coming out, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen that, and I've seen that. So I feel like I want to say more than 50 for sure. Yeah. Less than 100, but definitely more than 50 for sure. Especially at the beginning of the year, I was a lot more because I started going to school in the fall, like September-ish. So January through the summer, I was in the movie theater every week. So definitely watched minimum 50.
I think like once you reach over 100, you're like serious territory, like a real cinephile.
Right.
But then 150 is just like over the top, like you got too much time. But
Right.
yeah, so I found that most people spoke to that sweet spot about like 100 and 150 is someone that's keen into it, but not like over the top. But last year I did 150 and began to hate movies. I really stopped wanting to watch movies because you see so many bad movies. So
Yeah.
I think picking a number, I'm starting to think now the best approach is seeing movies you want to see, not just seeing them for the sake of it. You end up hating movies because of it.
I mean, I agree. There's a lot of bad stuff out there. So if out of 150, 90% of those are bad and only 10% are good.
I would say 10 of them I'd watch again. Like the rest of them, filling time. And and when you don't really want to watch it, you're not really giving it credit either. Like you're half watching it, you're on your phone, you're doing something else because you just got to finish it so you can hit the box.
Yeah, especially if you don't want to see it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so we pre-planned a few get to know you questions with a bit of a twist. So they're all obviously going to be movie themes. So I'll ask the initial question. Jacob's going to follow up with some questions about your answers. So the first question is, if you could only watch one movie genre for the rest of your life, what would that genre be?
Woo! Hit me with the hard ones right away. I want to say horror. Yeah, I want to say horror. Because even though right now everyone's like horror renaissance, like, it's like the best movies that are coming out, in my opinion, right now are horror. I feel like even back in the day, even the cheesy 80s slashers and stuff like that, like all of them had some kind of fun element that even if it's something that you're like stuck watching, like Leprechaun, you're like, whatever, it's ridiculous, but it's fun. So I would say horror. Yeah, I'd go with horror for sure.
And what's your favorite aspect of horror? Does it need to have a jump scare, or does it need to mess with your psychiatry going in with the movie? What does it need to do for you to make it a standout horror movie?
I think, the second choice definitely has to mess up my mental. I have to go in there and come out a different person in order for me to be like, this was good. Like what movie did that for me recently? Well, out of horror, not a lot has done it for me recently, but I would say Hereditary messed me up. Bring Her Back this last year. Yeah, Bring Her Back. Great. Philippo Brothers, really good, that one.
How did those movies do that for you?
Well, I never, expect spoilers for Bring Her Back, by the way, for anyone who hasn't seen it. I never expect the caretaker to behave in a way that was so negative and so like badly, especially towards children. Like if it's an adult, you kind of are like, whatever, you're an adult, you could take it. But for a child, especially a disabled child, it hits home. It hits home a lot for me. So yeah, that Hereditary was just nightmare fuel. It's just nightmare fuel, literally nightmare fuel. She chops her own head off at one point. There's a bunch of creepy people standing in the background. If you rewatch the movie, like I have several times, you catch different things you didn't catch the first time around. Yeah. Where she's at sometimes in the scene, like she's towards the end when she's already possessed or whatever, she's like on the ceiling at some points in the corner, and I'm just like, oh, I didn't catch that before. That could be happening right now while I'm watching this movie right here, right behind me. So, but I like that. Jump scares, not so much. Jump scares, stuff like that doesn't really, again, initially, when I was a kid, sure, yeah, that was great. Now, as you grow older, I feel like, I guess the psychological aspect is more like if there's a theme to the horror, like grief or loss or stuff like that, like real tangible, real world effects that become these otherworldly things, like the Babadook or something like that.
Yeah, I think horror is a kind of a special genre because the movies inherently are mostly bad, but it's allowed to be. Like I feel like it's the one genre where you can get away with it. Like if you make a comedy and you don't laugh at it, no one will rewatch it. But a horror, sometimes they are funny to watch because they're bad. So you'll still watch them. I feel like horrors have a low bar and they can kind of be bad, and you'll still go, no, I didn't mind that though, because generally they're unrealistic anyway.
Right.
So when you pull them apart, even the best horror movies, you go, that wouldn't happen. That's ridiculous. But that's the point, where like drama and rom-coms and all those things, it doesn't have that same leeway. They get that wrong, you go, well, that's stupid. But horror, you go, yeah, the whole thing is stupid. Like it's meant to be. So it's a kind of special genre in that way.
I agree.
What's a horror psychological thriller that you would recommend to a newcomer that wants to get into the genre? Because for me, I would probably say Get Out's a good one to get into.
I would have said the same one.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, so this wasn't a planned question, but the fact that you said horror is your favorite genre, do you have a favorite horror franchise?
Oh, horror franchise. See, I would have said Scream. Scream was my top favorite for a while until literally this last one. But if I'm not saying Scream, what am I saying? Nah, I still gotta go Scream. I'm sorry, it's still good. It's so good.
That'd be my answer. Scream is my all-time horror franchise. So you've seen the latest one?
Yeah.
I don't think it's not out here yet. I'm looking forward.
No, I'm saying the one right before this one that hasn't come out yet. Oh, not 6. I think it's 6. We're up to 6, right?
Oh, the one that
or 7,
where the person collected the memorabilia and hid it in a warehouse and.
Yeah. And
I feel like, silly, but I find they're clever because they kind of play on themselves. The fact that the second movie is about making a movie about the first movie. I just think everything about the Scream franchise is really clever. I've been trying to convince Jacob so badly to watch them all.
Oh, you haven't seen them?
No, not yet.
Oh my God, you were in for the time of your life. I wish I was you. So I have seen them so many times. It's so good. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
What's your favorite one of the franchise?
Oh man, the original is the best one in my opinion. But besides the original, I'm gonna go Scream 4 because I feel like they stayed close enough to the original. But I'm breaking up. I'm good.
No, we got a comment. Someone's backing up our sentiment that Jacob should watch them.
Yes, you should definitely watch them. So definitely. Scream 4 does kind of what Scream 1 does. Again, it's gonna blow your mind when you first watch it because you're gonna watch it for the first time, so you're gonna be like, wow. But Scream 4, I feel like, does the same kind of thing that Scream 1 does, where it's like the villains are always in all the movies. The villains are in plain sight, kinda, but the way that they went about it is a lot more clever in Scream 4 compared to 3 or 2. But again, Scream 1, they just did it. They did it the best out of the park.
I think they're all cool. Each one has their own. They're all kind of the same, but they do something different. Whether it's live streaming the murders, whether it's trying to recreate it to make your own version of the movies, whether it's jealousy because of your cousin was one of the original. It always somehow relates back to it. But I think it's very cool. I think each one's unique in its own way.
Agreed.
Okay, tell us what is the first movie you remember loving?
Ooh, first movie. I want to say Titanic because that is the first movie that I was taken to that's R-rated, and I was like 7, right? That came out in 1997. So I was born in the 90s, by the way. I'm an old man. So movie. Yeah, so that movie came out and I was a child, and I don't think my parents knew because my parents' first language is not English. So they took me to this movie thinking, oh, it's a movie about people on a boat. It's a nice, boat movie. They had no idea about the history of Titanic. Oh, yes, Titanic, great movie. And basically when the murders happened, actually, the murders wasn't the problem. Not the murders, sorry, the deaths. You should watch Hereditary. Yes, I agree. the deaths weren't the problem in the Titanic for my parents. They were like, oh yeah, death and gore, you can watch all that. It's like literally 2 hours before was like the sex scene in the car, the naked drawing of the girl character, and I was just like, oh, this is like, again, I'm 7. This is like, I think, the first pair of of women's naked parts that I've ever seen in my life. So I love that movie. James Cameron will always have me for that. So I do want to say Titanic, but literally, I think a couple years after that, Spider-Man 1 came out, and Spider-Man 1 is, to me, what made me start to actually want to go to the movies like on my own and go experience them, because it was such a, like, again, at that point I had read Spider-Man comics and I had seen Spider-Man cartoon, the 90s one, which is amazing. And then to see him on the big screen be realized, I was like, this is amazing. Like, the way that movies can make me feel like that, that's what made me like fall in love really with the movies.
Would you say seeing Spider-Man 1 was your favorite movie experience at the time?
Yeah, I think still to this day. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It is a very good Spider-Man movie. Would you say it's Tobey Maguire is your favorite Spider-Man?
Yeah, still. I love Tom Holland. I love Andrew Garfield. I love all the Spider-Man for what they bring. But yeah, Tobey Maguire, you know what I mean? I can't. I grew up with Tobey. He's my Spider-Man. So yeah.
And do you prefer Spider-Man 1 or Spider-Man 2? Because no one really talks about Spider-Man 3.
I know, yeah. Nobody. We talk about Spider-Man 3 when we bring up the dance. The dance is the best one. but yeah, Spider-Man 2 is better thematically, like cinematically. It is a better film. Spider-Man 2 is a better film out of the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire's. Spider-Man 2 is the better film. But Spider-Man 1, again, is just very close to my heart. Seeing Willem Dafoe, that was the first time I've witnessed Willem Dafoe. Then I went back and saw his discography with the Boondock Saints and all this other stuff. But initially, seeing him, and I was just like, I love this guy. Godspeed, Spider-Man. So good. So good. Yes, original Spider-Man. Yes, thank you.
Tell us a movie that you think is massively underrated, something that you like, a guilty pleasure or something you love that no one else really seems to talk about.
Oh, this is a Disney movie, but I also saw when I was a kid and I loved besides Atlantis, because I feel like Atlantis now is getting recognition, but Treasure Planet. I feel like Treasure Planet is so good. Nobody talks about it. No one remembers seeing it. Granted, it didn't do well in theaters, but I saw it, back, we had VHS tapes back then. So I saw a VHS tape of Treasure Planet, and I love Treasure Planet ever since. And I'm hoping that they do like a live action, because it lends really well to what they're doing now with making all of their Disney movies into live action. So I feel like it would really, and actually start a whole franchise of Treasure Planet. And Treasure Planet, for those of you, the guys that don't know or haven't seen it, I was going to name an anime, which you might not have seen, but it's basically One Piece, but the American version. So it's just a group of people on a pirate ship that instead of traversing the seas, you traverse space. Okay. But it's literally like a ship, and it's awesome. It's awesome. But yeah, I don't want to spoil Treasure Planet if you haven't seen it. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's on Disney Plus.
Have you what's a movie you think is massively underrated, Jacob?
Me, I would probably have to say maybe like Inception or something.
You reckon that's underrated?
It is very good, but
it's pretty well known.
Hot take.
I would have to probably think about it more. Maybe no.
You reckon you could guess what mine would be? A movie that I absolutely love that most people don't?
Oh, Happy Gilmore too.
Oh, that's not long. Hasn't been out long enough for us to bring that up. But yeah, possibly. Nah, you're on track with the right actor.
Punch Drunk Love?
No. Nah, That's My Boy is like one of my favorite movies, and everyone hates it. They do not think it's funny, and I reckon I've watched it like 50 times. It's like maybe Adam Sandler's like worst movie by a lot of people think. I just think it's one of the funniest because it's so stupid. But I think it's an underrated movie. I think when most people talk about Adam Sandler's like top movies, they never mention it, and I think it's underrated.
Who would you like to be cast in the live action of the movie?
For Treasure Planet?
Yes.
Oof. Oh man. I don't know actually.
Well, what's the main character? Like a teenager?
He's like a young kid. He's not too young. You can get like an older actor that looks young to play him and get away with it. Yeah, like a Tom Holland or something like that, or any of the Stranger Things kids would probably be able to do it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm trying to think of, like young actors. Oh, you know who would be great? That kid from the Netflix TV show, where he was like I forgot the name of the TV show, and it just came out recently. It's like a one take, the whole show.
Oh that won all the awards. It's like set in Britain. It's like the kid that gets like wrongly accused of like
yes. Well, no, he rightfully was accused.
Adolescent or something.
Adolescence. The kid from Adolescence would be great for that role. Actually, yes,
that's a good choice. Yeah.
Okay, well, that kind of feeds into our next question. What would be your all-time dream cast for a movie? I guess to make it easier, do you want to pick a genre? So like maybe like horror, what would be lead actor, lead male, lead female, and like supporting actors? You can add as many as you want to the list.
Oh boy. I've never thought about this. No, I've definitely thought about this. So, lead actor, I have to do something with Michael B. Jordan or Daniel Kaluuya or Lakeith Stanfield, or Denzel Washington said he's done, but Denzel Washington. I'd have to. So any of them for the lead, doesn't matter, or supporting, as long as they're there. Any of them. For lead female, I'd get Lupita Nyong'o or damn it, I'm blanking. Besides Lupita Nyong'o, there's another lady. Oh my god, I love her in so many things, and I forgot her name. Oh man, I'm blanking right now. Well, let's just say Lupita Nyong'o, just to leave it at one. It's because you guys asked me for one, and I keep giving you several. Lupita Nyong'o, lead actress in this, whatever this is. Well, horror. I guess we're doing horror. Oh,
well, whatever you want to imagine. I guess like if I don't know, if I was going to do it and I was to pick, like I'd probably go my favorite actors. So I don't know, might have Brad Pitt and Mark Wahlberg or something. I don't know. I don't know what the movie would be. A good movie. I'd probably have those two in there.
That's already a good movie.
Yeah.
What about you, Jacob?
For me, I would probably go Chris Hemsworth and maybe the actor that is in Vikings, that's Australian, and he's in Black Snow. I would probably have him as well, and that's in the Dune Prophecy show as well.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Picture him. I don't know who I'd have lead female. Who'd be my favorite female actress that would fit in with that? Guess that really depends on the type of movie. Like if it's like the main female actress is meant to be like the love interest, then that would dictate, like their looks would dictate who you're trying to put in there. Or like if it's like you go for quality of actor, I don't know, do you chuck in Meryl Streep, but does she make any sense to the other two, like for what you're trying to do?
It doesn't matter. You have Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
You're going to get an Oscar, whoever it is.
Yeah.
Oh, you see someone agreed with you about Chris Hemsworth?
Travis Fimmel.
Thank you for the help.
There you go. Yes.
Okay. So next question. If you were trapped in a movie universe, which one would you choose?
Ooh.
I guess it could be something out there like an actual universe, or it could literally be like, hey, I like Scream, so I'd just be a character on Scream.
I would love to be a character on Scream, actually.
Yeah.
And besides Scream, I actually would love to be in what the hell is the name of that movie? A scary movie. The funny version of
Oh yeah,
those. I would love to be in any of one of those, just to be a random happy character
Yeah.
doing some crazy stuff. You cock a shovel for some reason, just instead of a shotgun, just a shovel.
yeah. I really miss the parody movies, like Until the Naked Gun.
Yeah,
Came out this year. We hadn't seen a good parody movie in a long time. Where I remember growing up watching all the scary movies, and then watching the like Not Another Teen movie, and then sports movie, and all those parody. They're all so good, but they just stopped making them.
They just stopped. Yeah. I guess they weren't making any money. Yeah. Oh, yes, Zoe Saldana. I was thinking about Zoe Saldana. Thank you.
Nicole
yes.
Kidman, Halle
Nicole Kidman. Oh, Halle Berry.
Yeah,
Halle Berry.
I feel like Aussies don't really like Nicole Kidman. I don't really like anything she's in, to be honest.
I mean, she's in the same thing several times.
Yeah.
But she does it so well.
She seems very fake to me.
She is an actress.
Yeah. Okay. So, if your life was a movie, what would the title be?
If my life was a movie, what was Useless Skills? No. I would like that as a movie, actually. Useless Skills. Yeah, I'd take that. I think that would be a good name for my movie.
Nice name.
And then throughout it, you'd see all of the useful skills that I actually do have, or I would see that.
Well, I guess the thing is, if you accumulate enough skills, even if you see them to be useless at the time, eventually you'll need them. Like you might end up being on like Gilligan's Island and be like, hey, I actually know how to do this. It was useless to learn originally, but now it comes in handy.
Now it's super useful. Yeah. Sounds like the plot of Set Help.
Yeah. Millie Bobby Brown. Good choice.
Yes. Millie Bobby Brown.
So ironic. Is that a movie? Or just...
I think she means iconic.
Yeah.
I think she meant to write iconic.
Okay. Now we're moving into the discussion part of this. So we want to talk about our most anticipated movies of the year. So this is kind of just a back and forward thing. So if you, being the guest, want to go first, tell us, I don't know, one movie that you're very much looking forward to this year and why. And we'll kind of talk about it.
I think we all know what movie I'm looking forward to here out of all the movies this year. It is definitely Doomsday.
I think a lot of people are. What do you think it will happen? Like, what's your predictions for the plot of Doomsday?
I'm assuming there's going to be a bunch of alter versions. Like initially, I thought they were going to stick to like the newer, Doomsday, yes. So I think initially we were thinking about, Mandalorian and Grogu. I am looking forward to that though. I am actually. I hope it's really good. I lost my train of thought. See, looking at comments. I think to me, Doomsday is probably going to focus on like the altered versions or different alter versions of like, Steve Rogers or Iron Man or Thor, because they're all coming back, even though their characters have technically taken a step back from the main franchise. So I feel like they can't come back as themselves, especially somebody like Steve Rogers, who technically is old now. So it's probably either going to be a younger version of himself that they take from an alternate universe, or he's like a completely different character now, but he's there somehow. So kind of like what they're doing with Iron Man being Doom. So, that kind of stuff. Like initially I didn't expect that, but as they continue to just say, this guy's going to be in it, this guy's going to be in it, this guy's going to, I'm like, okay, so we're just bringing everybody back and we're just going to give them like new roles, basically. Like same character kind of archetype, but just in a different version of this character we haven't seen. So that's what I'm expecting to see that a lot, which I don't think is the right way to go, but they want to make money, so they're like, hey, let's just,
it's kind of like they ran out of good things to write, so they're like, hey, let's just bring back characters people love. That's our best chance. It's a bit weak.
Are you more excited for Doomsday, or would you prefer it if they continued the Kane dynasty, what would you prefer? What we're getting, or what was going to happen before what happened in real life?
So to me, I think I would have loved to see the Kang like play out, you know, but Kang and Doom have a similar like villainy, and they actually do clash a lot in the comics. So I assumed that at some point we would have seen Doom from Kang's dominance and perversion of all of the timelines, because Doom kind of messes with him after he starts to mess with, like, they start to mess with each other. And so I would have loved to see Kang just be as big as he could have been, and as big as he was like promised. Because if you've seen the Loki show, I feel like that's the best version of Kang that we saw. Him and Ant-Man was kind of just tropey bad guy. I'm gonna beat you up and I want to take over the world. But like the Kang in the Loki show was like, I've done everything, I've seen everything, and now I'm here. And it's like, you can't beat me because I can't beat me, because this is like the end of time, so I like that concept a lot better. And then like the multiple Kangs that was shown, I would have loved to see that. But I'm excited. I am excited for Doom, because it's Doom. I mean, I love him. I do love Doom. He's a great villain. And I understand his plight and I understand his fight. And it's the fight really that is all of our fight, which is we don't have let's say as much talent as all these other beloved figures, but we're just as smart or just as good, and we just want our to show ourselves or whatever. And that's basically Doom's ultimate plight in most of the comics, is just look at me. So it's like, because it's like everybody loves the Fantastic Four, nobody loves Doom, but it's like, I'm Doom, I exist, I do cool things. And he's really fighting for his little home country that's small and forgotten and taken advantage of. And he kind of takes over. He does what Killmonger technically wanted to do with Black Panther, with Wakanda. He gets to do that with Latveria. So I pretty much enjoy that, where it's like underdog takes over, but has all this power, and then comes and attacks, America or Europe or whatever, like big power.
What do you think about the Robert Downey Jr. being cast? You think that's
I think that was
going to work? Or?
Yeah, I think it'll work, because Robert Downey Jr. is just a good actor. He's very charismatic. People will definitely gravitate to him, and they'll be okay with him being Doom, even though they saw him as Iron Man. But again, it all depends on how they're going to do Doom, because I assume the reason that they cast him is because there is a Doom version or there's an Iron Man version of Doom. So where Victor Von Doom is technically Iron Man, and Iron Man is Victor Von Doom. So in that alternate reality, I assume that's what they're going with. That's why they cast him, because he's technically still Iron Man, just now as Doom. Maybe that's where they're going. I don't know. But if that is, then it's a lot easier to sell, okay, this is just Iron Man, but as a bad guy. As opposed to, this is Von Doom. He's a completely different character. He's not Tony Stark or whatever. And I don't know how Robert Downey Jr. would play that, having already played with all these same cast.
Sounds like they're more likely to go the first option then. Yeah. If they weren't, and they were to cast someone else, who do you think would have played a good Victor Von Doom?
Who would have played a good Von Doom?
So I wouldn't have anyone in mind.
Oh man, I initially I wanted what is this guy's name? I don't know if you guys seen the show on Peacock, that he's a killer, but he's like an assassin. The Jackal. It's called The Jackal. Dave the Jackal. He's from the Harry Potter, the newer Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's the guy that he played Stephen Hawking in the.
He played Stephen Hawking, and he played a woman in that.
He's in Fantastic Beasts, the British boy.
Fantastic Beasts, that's the movie.
Okay.
I forgot his name, but he would make a great Victor Von Doom, because he's just so unassuming, and you don't expect him to be like as evil as he is. But then in the Jackal, you get to see that, and so I'm just like, oh man, this guy would be so good as Von Doom, because it's like you don't expect this guy to just come out and be so evil. and he just comes across so nice that when he does turn evil, it's like, oh. So yeah, I think he would have been a great Doom.
Cool. Okay, what's something you're looking forward to, Jacob?
I'm going to go something different. I'm going to go Project Hail Mary. I actually really want to read the book, and obviously I can't read the book because the movie's coming out in March. So unfortunately, I'll be spoiling how the book finishes, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how Ryan Gosling portrays the main character and just seeing, because it's from the same person that wrote The Martian. And from what I've heard from the book community on YouTube is that Project Hail Mary is actually better than The Martian, and I really enjoyed The Martian with Matt Damon, so I'm looking forward to seeing what makes it better, because I thought The Martian was a standout movie. And then I guess reading the book when I get to it to see what the differences are between, because they always make it different because they can't fit in everything from book to cinema. So Project Hail Mary for me.
Yeah, I think the seen like maybe 2 or 3 different trailers of that, and the first one got me really excited, and the second one I thought, oh, this looks like it's going to be a bit silly, and I don't know what to expect, but I do love Ryan Gosling. I think the premise looks cool. I kind of one of the trailers made it look real like jokish, like one built it up as real serious, like suspenseful music. It played like David Bowie over the top of it, and it felt great. And then the next one was like him joking around and like talking to this alien that looks like a rock, and I was like, oh, okay, is this gimmicky or not? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but I'm hoping it's not the gimmicky version.
Okay. I am looking forward to Project Hail Mary. I love The Martian as well. So now, after I didn't even know that, after hearing what you just said, I'm like, now I'm even more hyped for Project Hail Mary, because I was like, I love The Martian, and I'm like, this is better than that. I have to watch it. But yeah, it looks fun. It looks like a fun movie. I agree with Luke. It's just the trailers are giving me, what is this movie? Is it this or is it this? But either or, I would enjoy either movie. So I'm like, I like Alien.
I think it'll be good. I just don't know which direction of good it's going to go.
Right. It's not like it's not like the Disclosure Day.
Well, that's what I'm about to say is my movie I'm looking forward to this year. Yes. Mainly because I don't know what it's going to be about. Like, it's kind of keeping its cards close to its chest. It kind of leads on mentioning a few things about, God or some kind of supreme being creating, like different things. I don't know, and that shows animals. So I don't know what it is. Is it aliens? Is it? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm gathering that maybe someone finds an alien and then he's kind of like keeping it close. Like, he wants to reveal it to the world, but then like the news source don't want that to happen. I don't know. Right. It just, I'm intrigued, and the fact that Steven Spielberg's involved makes me think it's highly likely going to be good, because sometimes you see trailers for those types of movies and they look good, but then in the end, it's not. And I don't know. I just don't think Spielberg's going to produce something that's not going to be somewhat decent.
I agree.
There's the name of the actor.
Yeah,
Eddie Redmayne. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but yes, that's his name. But I'm also looking forward to Disclosure Day.
Have you seen the trailer for that, Jacob?
I did. It looks quite interesting and unique. The concept. I'll be looking forward to watching it, and hopefully it doesn't disappoint.
Yeah, I think it will be. I reckon it'll be good. It just might be one of those movies that like it requires a bit of thinking, and some people may not get it. I reckon it's going to be along those lines. So something like kind of like Inception too. Like, some people watch that and like, I don't really know what's going on here. And what was that movie with like Denzel Washington's son in it, and where like they're going backwards? There's like the portal. Tenet. Like, I think that was a good movie. A lot of people, I think, didn't get it and didn't like it, or thought it was boring. But I think it's like, I reckon this will be like that. It'll be like, you either love it or hate it.
Man, talk about underrated. Tenet. I love Tenet, and a lot of people.
before it came out, and then then afterwards it just vanished. No one really spoke about it, and I'd like to rewatch it because I've seen it twice, but I still don't fully get it, or you think you get it, but you don't know if it's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I also, for those kinds of films, it's just also not only the rewatchability to understand, but if it's actually fun to rewatch, like a Memento or something like that, where it's like you rewatch the film, but you also enjoy it, even if you're like also piecing stuff together that you didn't think of before, you're still enjoying it, like me with Hereditary, so it's just when it's like what you mentioned earlier, when it's like a bad alien movie and it's like, oh, I gotta watch Alien Independence 2 again, and it's like, it was bad the first time, it's gonna be bad the next time. Whether you didn't get it or did get it, it's just bad if it's bad. So like I enjoy that when it's like you could rewatch it, but it's still a good movie. So even if you have to rewatch it just to understand it, you're still excited to rewatch it because you enjoy the actual movie.
I think movies that have big, twist or like a big reveal in it comes harder to watch a second time when you know it's coming. But even seeing Tenet twice, I don't think I could confidently describe it to someone else.
I agree.
So I don't fully remember every part of it too. So like I feel like it's rewatchable in the sense of I forgot about this movie. I want to go back and watch it again. And then as you watch it, I remember that scene. I remember it. But yeah, I don't know. It hasn't like worn me out yet. So I think
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. My wife hates it, and I was like I'll be rewatching it from time to time, and she'll come in and be like, oh, this is that movie where the guy fights himself backwards, and I'm like, yes. And she's like, why is he fighting himself backwards? I'm like, I don't exactly know. I don't remember. Yeah. That's why I'm rewatching it.
Yeah, it's just very cool. I think I need to revisit that. Okay, back to you. What's a movie you're looking forward to watching? They're coming another anticipated movie.
Okay, besides Doomsday, the poster right behind Jacob there, the third one of this franchise, also equally as hype for me, of course. Mm-hmm. And I think more hype than Doomsday, actually, now that I think about it, because it has nowhere to go but up for me, Oh, yeah, there you go. Of course. Oh, of course. You're always going to get what? So, but yeah, Tenet is great. Tenet is great. Okay, if you liked Inception, you'd like Tenet.
So are you across that Jacob and I aren't biggest fans of Dune? Did you know that?
Oh no, I didn't know that. You guys, you watched Dune Prophecy. How could you hate it?
I don't know. We both think that it's a bit overrated. Like we don't hate it, but we don't understand why people love it more so than other things.
Okay, I get you.
I don't know. Like a lot of people I know that aren't really into that genre carry on about how much they love it, and you're like, why did you gravitate towards? Is it just Timothy Chalamet? I don't know. I just find it baffling the love for it. It kind of seems out of nowhere. But I have came to appreciate it more.
Yes, because of Avatar.
Because I think Avatar's the worst movie franchise ever. So I think that I've grown to like Dune because Avatar is so bad. So I actually think Dune. If Avatar's so loved, then Dune deserves way more love. So
I couldn't agree with you more. I do not understand what the level that you guys have for Dune is what I have for Avatar.
What do you
I
think
don't get it.
The reason why people love it? Do you think it's the visuals, or do you think it? What do you think it is? Because it can't be the story. Because if I were to explain the story to someone, they would be like, "That's not a good story." Like, but the characters should be the best in cinema history. They've had plenty of time to grow, but to me, they're just very uninteresting, and I don't know. I don't like the characters.
My thought on Avatar was the first one came out when 3D was all the hype.
Right,
I think people went ballistic because they're not seeing visuals like this before. You went to the cinemas and it's coming out to you. So then people just thought it was great, and now they kind of just bought into it. Where I think if Avatar, the first one, came out now, people go, nah, who cares? Whatever. But now we kind of invested. It's like I saw the second one because I was invested in the first. I got dragged into the third one, and I have sworn that I will not waste my time going anymore because I've been fooled twice. I'm not falling for it again.
I gladly. I think it's the visuals that make people like Avatar. I agree with you guys. I agree with all you guys. I think the same for me. It was that like when I first saw Avatar, the first one, I was like, this is just Dances with Wolves, but with we're in a different, we're in an alien planet, and it's not even that good. And then everyone's like, it's amazing, and I'm like, is it? And then the whole accolades for all the visuals and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I guess, sure, yeah. And then the second one, same. I don't know if you guys watch Quarter Crew, but it's a bunch of guys that they go over like the visual effects of movies, and they were talking about how The Shape of Water, like the water graphics, amazing. Don't need good plot when people just love a blue cat person. I mean, also true. That's also true. But yeah, I don't know. I
actually think Avatar's visual effects are bad. I think
they're great. They're amazing. But
what I say it is, you see the behind the scenes stuff, and they've got all their like blue suits on, and they're running through, and you're like, you did all that, and it looks like a video game. Why did you even bother? Why didn't you just get voice actors? Like, you didn't need people.
And just animate it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the amount of money they spend on it to produce a video game, it's unnecessary.
They do video games as well.
Yeah, I think it's just James Cameron trying to prove that trying new techniques. He's so amazing. He's doing something special. And it's like at the end of the day, you just should have got voice actors because you did not need real people for this movie at all.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree with everything you're saying. I honestly, I can't. I don't understand it. I don't understand the love for it. And again, if Avatar has this much love, where's the love for Dune? Dune to me is a much better story, much better character arcs, a much better world, also like more interesting. Yes, it's what people now say slow burn. It's a slow burn, but it's like if you're invested in the world, it doesn't feel slow. It feels like, okay, we're progressing. We're learning more about this world. But I really love it. Yeah.
I think the original premise was cool. Now you dragged out 2 movies about whales and moved away from what the whole thing was about. And originally, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right, I agree. And then also, how many times can you do,
humans lose?
Just what is it? The metaphor, Native American metaphor versus American industrialist metaphor over and over and over and over. And it's like, we got it in the first one. We don't need a second one for that. And now we don't need a third one for that. And now we definitely don't need a fourth one. He wants to make 2 more of these things?
5 a while.
Yeah, it's really unnecessary. But just printing money at this point, though. It's guaranteed to make money.
Yeah,
so
true. Unfortunately,
I think even if the next one is a bit of a letdown, people will go, well, I've only got one more to go, so they'll go see it. Like you can't lose.
I agree.
Okay. What else are you looking forward to, Jacob?
I would probably say Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think seeing Spider-Man in like a new environment and a new, I guess, era, because I would say Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I think it shows Peter Parker at his best. It doesn't show Spider-Man at his best, but it shows Peter Parker going through high school and seeing things in an excellent light. So I think he's in high school now, or college, so uni here in Australia, and I'm very much very interested to see how Hulk and the Punisher are going to be a factor in this movie and see how it ties into it, because I believe I've heard that Brand New Day is going to come into the same time as Doomsday, so that's why Tom Holland's not going to be in Doomsday, and he's also in the Odyssey movie as well. So yeah,
I heard I saw something the other day where it was like a list of characters that would have been on another planet or in space when the whole like spell happened, where people forgot who Spider-Man was, and they're like, oh, does that mean that they would remember who Peter Parker is?
Mm.
And I don't know if that's going to be a factor in the movie, that there's going to be people that know who he is, or we just assume that everyone's forgot. I wish I could remember who it was, but there was some list of characters that weren't there on Earth at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I don't know. Also, I don't think Spider-Man would interact with them.
Yeah, but I guess it's an interesting premise, isn't it? Like, kind of swept the slate clean, and people don't remember who he is.
Yeah,
I guess it's kind of a cool concept, because like most superheroes, they have a secret identity, except for like Tony Stark openly says who he is, and others, But yeah, I guess once his secret identity's gone, like, what do you do next? So I guess you just find a plot where you wipe the slate clean and start again.
Yeah. I mean, also you have to understand he doesn't have Shield or any of the Avengers to help him or back him up. We don't know if Hulk or Punisher are allies or enemies of his in this. Yeah, so because they don't know him allegedly. So I mean, it'd be funny to see Star-Lord just come down and be like, "Yeah, it's Peter Parker. What are you guys talking about? That's Peter Parker." Yeah, because Star-Lord wasn't on Earth.
Would we? Do we know who the villain is in this movie?
Don't know yet.
We don't know.
Think we're eventually going to see Venom crossover at some point, or?
I think so. Yes.
I don't know. They were primed to do it before when they brought Tom Hardy into the universe, but then in the last movie they took him back out of the universe, and I don't think he's reprising his role. So I don't see. But I also don't see anybody becoming Venom in this world.
You also don't know how it works. I guess Tom Hardy wasn't a villain as Venom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was kind of an anti-hero. I mean, Venom is technically an anti-hero, but
he wouldn't have any reason to fight Spider-Man,
right?
At all.
Right.
Like, and I guess they could come up with a reason, but then that would then turn Tom Hardy's character into a full-on villain. So
right. I don't know. I don't know who the villain is. If we go through Spider-Man's Rolodex, they did Vulture, they did Mysterio, which I loved. That's my favorite villain, and I'm so glad he finally got. And they picked the great Jake Gyllenhaal, but yeah, they did Mysterio.
We had Craven, but then he wasn't really a villain in his movie.
And then Craven kind of. So they could technically still do Craven because he was in the video games and he was very menacing, and I really liked him in the video game. If you guys played it, the Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I just don't know if like that would then work with him, because why would he want to hunt Spider-Man? Like in the video game, he wants Spider-Man because he's the ultimate catch, but it wouldn't work in this, like based upon the Craven we've already seen.
I don't know. Or it could be Scorpion, even though he's kind of a B villain. He was kind of teased in the first one, Scorpion. But I don't know. I don't know who Big Bad. Who?
Something to look forward to.
Only other movie I can think of that I'm looking forward to seeing is The Odyssey. I've seen the trailer a couple of times, and I didn't know anything about The Odyssey or this Greek poem thing in the Trials of Odysseus or something. I don't know. But considering who's in it and who's
directing it,
I feel like it's going to be pretty epic.
Yeah.
I believe it's just a one-off movie too, which I'm excited about. Not trying to drag this out to 3 or 4 movies. So I reckon it'd be probably pretty good. I guess as well, like it's just something a bit different. It's
different is good.
Yeah, like it's just like a one-off. Doesn't need to really make sense, and I guess there's probably a lot of people that are very excited about it that have read these poems. Someone sent me their poems, not books, or just very, very long thing. I don't know, but I think there'll be a lot of people that are probably excited about this.
I mean, it's apparently the original story or whatever, like that all stories are based off of, allegedly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That sounds interesting. I also have never read it, but I've heard about it, throughout the years. It's supposedly this like giant epic, and I'm like, okay, awesome. Can't wait to watch the movie on it. but yeah, I agree with you. All the actors in it and the director, that's the entire reason. Like when they started listing the cast of people in this movie, I was like, I gotta watch this movie. Yes, The Odyssey is awesome. Well,
I
I'm
assume
glad
it's
you
going to
read
be
it.
pretty long. You'd have to think it's like a 3-hour movie.
I mean, it's Christopher Nolan. I assume minimum 3 hours. But
Wow.
I just don't want this to be like I don't know if you guys remember the it was like a World War, not a World War, but some kind of war movie that he did. I forgot the name of it. Where it was like everyone was at a beach and there was like
1917.
Was it 1917? That's what it was.
So the one with, like,
That's
Harry
not the one
Styles.
with the. That's not the one with the one take of the guy
Running.
in the trenches running. That's not that one. That was not Christopher Nolan. I don't think that was the one on Netflix.
Oh, is it like was it named after a place like where
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
landed, like not Chirac, something like something, yeah. So
It was something like that. And the biggest scene I remember from that is when they attacked the boat and all the people were like in the boat and it was like coming down on them because it was basically sinking and stuff. That was really epic. But I forgot the name of that movie. But
they're saying 1917, so maybe you're right.
Is it? I don't think it's 1917. 1917 is a war movie, but it's a war movie from Netflix. I don't think it was directed by Christopher Nolan. The Christopher Nolan one I'm talking about is like named after Normandy. Is it Normandy? It was
Yes, I
named
thought it was named after a place. I thought it was just,
and it has
Dunkirk.
Tom Hardy.
That's fine.
Dunkirk. Yes, Dunkirk. That's the one. So see, that's what I'm saying. Like people confuse it with 1917 because people forgot about Dunkirk. You know what I mean? Like it was like an epic, thing that Nolan filmed and stuff, and I really enjoyed it at the time. But then 1917 came out, and I enjoyed that way more. And so I don't want the Odyssey to become that for him. You know what I mean? Because it's like so epic, and it has so many people in it, and people are like, because I felt the same hype for Dunkirk because the same thing happened because his trailers are kind of like that. He had this trailer and it was just a beach and then giant fighter jets flying over the beach and then it just Dunkirk. And I was like, what is this? Because I had never heard of like that war or that thing. So then after I saw the movie, I was like, this movie's great. But there were moments that were not great, and overall the story, like I said, right now, I can't even tell you the plot of the story. I just remember that boat scene and that Tom Hardy was flying a fighter jet. Oh yeah, there was also some random kid in a boat because they just had random people come in boats to this war zone to like rescue people or help people. Oh, okay, you have the book. Oh, congratulations, you read the book. That's awesome. How many years did it take?
Yeah, I feel like war movies are a genre I've never got into. Like, I really enjoyed Warfare last year, but I wouldn't call that your traditional war movie because it was just different. That kind of felt like someone wearing a body cam and you were actually at war. Yeah. Where, traditional war movies is kind of like based on something historical that happened, someone doing heroics, some kind of, I don't dislike them. I just feel like I've watched so little of them. Where everyone else, I think, like a lot of people I know, war movies are like, whenever they list their favorite movies, they're like Saving Private Ryan, like Dunkirk, things. I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm just giving that a miss.
Not for everyone, I guess.
I don't dislike. I just feel like I just never think to see them in it. It's maybe. I think they're movies you want to see in a cinema, like surrounded in dark, and I've just kind of missed them when they've came out and gone, it's too late now.
Yeah, and I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that's what I think might happen because the Odyssey looks like it's a war movie, but war back then with like soldiers and swords and stuff. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, like a Troy or a.
I believe the premise is it's something like. The gods are not happy with Greece, and then Odysseus has to go and like complete his trials to like please the gods, and it's like finding a cyclops and raising the army of the dead and doing all these like mythical things to like prove his worth. And
kind of okay, we kind of got the plot.
They don't look accurate at all, I guess. I don't know.
I'm also hoping they lean into the fantasy. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Cyclops. If I just see a bunch of guys dressed like the guys from 300 fighting another bunch of guys that look like the guys from 300 about an epic poem about the hero Pearlia's journey home to Ithaca after the Trojan War. Oh, so definitely, like I said, definitely guys that are dressed like they're from 300.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I love 300, but it's like, if you're fighting a Cyclops, that's a lot better than fighting a whole giant army of other guys that look like you. I don't know. I'm like you. I don't really mess with war movies like that. That's why it's like 1917 really spoke to me, because it's like, this is to me a good war movie. That's not really about war. It is, but it isn't. So, and I like that, So like, that's why Dunkirk came and went, and that's why I just hope the Odyssey doesn't do that for Nolan. Greek mythology, yes. Way more fun. More. I agree. I agree. Yeah. I agree. Raising the Dead, I love that. Evil Dead, I love.
Yeah. What else? Are you looking forward to anything else, Jake?
I don't think about anything else.
We kind of went through the big ones. There's obviously a few that we may have missed, but if they didn't come to our head, then they probably weren't at the top of our list.
Right.
I'm wondering if it's time for us to get into our Sinners discussion.
Oh, hold on. Let me put on my gloves so I can fight. No. Yeah. So yes, do you want to explain to the audience that might not have been here? Oh yeah, Street Fighter's coming out this year. I forgot about Street Fighter.
And Mortal
that's gonna be a fun time at the theater.
Mortal Kombat just looks so silly, but so Mortal Kombat was filmed where we live on the Gold Coast. So like, whilst it was getting filmed, different places we go, like traffic would be shut so they could film it, or like a diner would get turned into something else, and it was always fun to drive around and see different parts set up for this film.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it was kind of cool. And like Anaconda was filmed like near where we are too, and like a lot of people spotted like Jack Black and that around while still filming. But if you watch the movie Anaconda, you can't spot anywhere that's recognizable to where we live.
I had no idea.
It's just like filmed in a jungle. Like it could be anywhere, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know. Yeah, I saw Anaconda. I liked it.
Okay. Do you want us to give our rundown? Jake and I might have slightly different opinions. My view on Sinners was, I was really enthralled. I thought the musical part of it, the Black history side was really cool. I just thought it kind of fizzled off when the vampires came in. So I got the feeling that it was I don't know, he basically said, I want to make a vampire movie, and they gave him the green light, and he's gone, sick, I'm actually going to make what I want to make, which is a movie about something completely else. That's the sense I got. But overall, I really liked it. The vampire thing, I thought, they could have went way harder with it, or just completely removed it. It was kind of just soft. It wasn't really fully in there. What's your thoughts on the movie, Jacob?
I think the problem that the Sinners has is that it has too many elements in it. I think they should have developed the elements of the vampires more. I think they should have. I know I've discussed this quite a lot of detail, but I think they should have had the Indians kind of come back at the end, or they should have went in to do that in more detail. I think that would have been very awesome. I don't know if they want to plan a TV show or something more with the Indians. And I think the movie it tries to do too much. Like, it could be a 3 or 4 hour movie, but for what we got, it's fine. Like, when I first watched it, I was like, I love the music aspect. I love the horror art aspect. But I think it either needed to commit of being a more musical and historical movie, or it needed to commit to a horror movie, and it kind of doesn't do either or. It kind of tries to be in the middle, and that's probably more why I still like it, but it could have been better. Personally, as a horror movie, I think Weapons is a better movie, because at least it commits to what it's doing.
To horror, right? Okay.
Give us your take on it.
All right, so I agree a little with what you're saying, and I get why it didn't work for you guys. Sinners has the thing that Sinners, I think, does so well is what makes it so, I guess, bad for you guys. So in most horror movies, as we spoke about earlier, like Scream or something, you kind of want the characters to die. You're like expecting half of the cast to die, and you're like, can't wait for these guys to go. But for Sinners, it's like, no, why? I want to keep these characters. I want to watch them more, you know? So when the vampire shows up and kind of starts taking people out and starts, you know, disrupting the story that was already there, it kind of accomplished what I think Ryan Coogler was trying to accomplish, which is this is like a real life horror that happens to like specifically people of this background, that we're living our lives, we're doing what we're doing, and then horrible things happen to us and we can't continue our story, even though everyone around us, and including us, wants to, right? So this whole, like the whole building of the world beforehand to be destroyed completely by this entity is the reason that you guys kind of hate the movie, because you're like, I wanted to continue seeing this movie, right? The beginning part. So just that aspect of it to me makes it a very effective horror movie, because there's not a lot of horror movies that you watch that you're like, you know, like most of them you root for like one or two main characters where you're like, yeah, this person has to make it through, right? But for the most part, other people are cannon fodder, and you're okay with those people being cannon fodder. Even if you're not technically okay with it, you like, as you watch it, you're not like, oh man, I really wish that Mike, who was, you know, in the background with Jetty for some reason, and they were in the room, because for some reason always, especially in our movies, if you do the nasty, you're gonna get killed for some reason. So, you know, Johnny and Jetty are over there doing the nasty, and then they got murdered. Oh no. And it's like, no one cares about Johnny and Jetty. They could have continued their story, but you didn't want them to, because that's not the reason you came to watch this movie, right? So I think Ryan Coogler did it like a too good of a job creating these characters that we love, that we wanted to see a completely different version of their story play out. But to me, that is the actual horror of the movie, not the vampires, right? The vampire is the vessel of what comes to, you know, mostly end most of the characters. But ultimately, the horror is the end of these characters. That is the horror. So even at the end, when after the vampires are gone and everything's resolved, he still has to fight the, you know, the racist white people that are coming. He, on his own, has to do this battle and do all this stuff. And even then, his life still ends, right? So to me is the like the actual horror aspect of it, right? And that tells the story effectively, because if you didn't care about his brother or the lady who, you know, does voodoo or whatever, and you about the vampire and the lore, and you didn't care about the Asian lady across the street, you didn't care about the guy who sings and wants to be a singer and wants to grow up to be a singer, and also, like, if you didn't care about these characters, the ending wouldn't be as effective. So even if they added more horror elements, if they went delve deeper into the vampire lore, I feel like you wouldn't have been as invested, because you wouldn't have cared about the characters. You wouldn't have had time to care about these characters, right? To Jacob's point. To Luke's point, it's the same. It's like, if you take away, like, if you continue the elements of this is a historical drama, we don't really need vampires, their story still ends when those guys shows up and kills half those people anyway. And it's more historically accurate that way, but it's just the same ending, just with a different element that we've seen before. So I really enjoy the fact that he took like the From Dusk Till Dawn element and put it into this historical kind of movie and made it a horror movie, because it's still technically a horror movie, regardless of whether the vampires are in it or not. And I think that's the element that, like, you know, ultimately sells the movie. So I don't know if that changes anything for you guys about how you see the movie, but
it makes more sense now, like seeing it from that light. I think I from what you said, I appreciate the vampire stuff more. I think I'm just a bit annoyed that we start off with, you know, the son of the priest running in with the blood on his hand. You go, okay, something's happened. Then we go back, but then it's so long before we see anything really vampire related. I just would have liked a little more trickles. Like, hey, they like go past, you know, one of the fields where someone's working, and there's like, oh, that cow over there's being like we're finding these cattle being eaten. What's going on
Right.
here? Or like something to make you like people in the town going, something suspicious is happening.
Right.
Just to build up the suspense that something is coming. Maybe even like the Native Americans, a bit of a warning, like they might come around and go, don't think you should be here. Like there's some odd stuff going on here. Like don't come here.
Right.
And like just some kind of suspense to build like, they're doing something that they shouldn't be and, bad things are coming their way.
I mean, I agree with you. I believe I think if he had more time, he would have been able to delve deeper into that stuff. He did it kind of quickly where it's literally just the vampire comes onto the screen, right? Literally jumps onto the screen. And then we do get the Native Americans did warn the couple there, but because they were Native Americans, then that couple did not like Native Americans. They were like, we don't, we don't care about your warning, but they did warn them. They were like, hey, don't trust this guy. And then that kind of led into, because it was the same day, so like literally that by that night they were just walking around and found the juke joint and went in there and did what they did. So they didn't really have a lot of time because it was all in the same day to show. And it's also, again, to me, masterful that in a single day of these characters' time, we got to know them and we got to love them and we wanted more of them. And we didn't, but that is to add to the story, probably done purposefully, because again, just like abruptly their lives end, it's because this entity shows up abruptly to end it. It wasn't like they saw, like a lot of the times you don't see this stuff coming. You don't, like in the beginning of the movie, you get the warning of, oh yeah, here, you guys want this juke joint? Yeah, totally. It's really cool. It's and then you see that those guys, the guy that sold them the juke joint, is planning to come later at night to attack them. So that part, but the vampire stuff is like abrupt, like nobody saw it coming. So I really like that because it is like a lot of,
do you think the
historically
link
how it happens
between the vampires and why they're after them, the fact that they want to use the music to connect to their ancestors, you think that's good? Like, do you think they could?
Yeah. I really enjoy that part. So that also, it also speaks to what Jacob was talking about as far as the lore, which I wish they would have explored more, because even Remy's character was saying how his masters, imposed their will on him. So it wasn't like the way that he is and the way that what he's doing and all that stuff how he's behaving is because of how he was affected by this, thing that made him a vampire. So it's the same kind of like his history and stuff was erased and became this. And that's what he wants to do now to, I forgot the boy's name, but the boy's character and his, take their entire history and their entire culture and heritage and make it into their own and bring it into his, the same thing that happened to him. So, because a lot of the times when Remy was speaking, the little times that he did say stuff about his past, it was more like, yeah, they made me do this too. And, now you have to submit to me just like I had to submit, stuff like that. So they did kind of little bits here and there. I would have, again, loved to explore more of that, of what happened to him, how he became a vampire and all that other stuff. But again, that can be a separate movie or a TV show. I feel like this still works. Like the movie still works and the movie's still, to me, fantastic in the message that it's trying to send, with the little bits that we do get from Remy, from the situation, from the fact that they chose to have him just abruptly show up, abruptly disrupt this gathering and take these lives and do what he was doing. Yeah, the history of assimilation. Right, correct, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's like way more metaphorical than anything. And you kind of, if you don't know what it's metaphorical for and you just see it at face value, it doesn't have the same impact.
Right.
So I guess it probably appeals to the people it's meant to appeal to. The people that understand it will get it. And
right. And even if you don't, you might like the other movies that you mentioned if you rewatch it, because it's not a bad rewatch. It's still a very good rewatchable movie. So you rewatch it and you're rewatching it just to see maybe the musical performance again, maybe to see Michael B. Jordan be two characters and wow you by being like, wow, I really think this guy's this guy and another guy. And then you're like, oh wait, they mentioned this, and then later on this happened. So like you'll pick up stuff as you rewatch it. So it's not just for the people that it's for. They might have been able to get it, more quickly, but if you rewatch it, you'll start to get these things little by little. But like I said, I agree that initially on first watch, someone that might not understand it just sees it as, oh, okay, this is just a not good horror movie. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's or not good, because it's still I think it's still a good horror movie, but it's just not it like you guys believe that it didn't fully step into one realm or the other, right? That's the first thing you guys said. It was like it didn't step into either full horror or full drama. Which one did it want to be? And I feel like it stepped into both. It just was not exactly told the way that you guys would maybe have understood it. So now, like I said, now given this context, if you rewatch it, you'll see, hey, because also the thing that happened after, when he went back into the church and then they visit him years later, and he's like this famous musician and all this other stuff. Just the fact that he also says, because I think Michael B. Jordan's character Smoke in that scene is like, we could just, make you live forever if you want, and you can continue to do what you want. And he's like, no, I did what I want. You know what I mean? Because he lived his life, which is what he wanted to do on his own terms, not be held into this ethereal, vampiric master. He lived his own life. He did what he wanted to do. He even kind of went against his father, which was his other master in a way, where he was telling him to be in the church, and he was like, no, I want to do music. And even through all of the stuff that he suffered, because that's another part of the story of the of like the theme of the movie. Even though we suffered through the things we suffered through, we're still able to shine and be ourselves and do what we love. So even though his music brought Remy to that juke joint and killed all his friends and family and stuff, he was still able to see music as an escape and see it as his own and do what he wants with it, right? Which is how we have, which is the reason why they put that whole music scene, which is why we have rap music and the future of music and all this other stuff. So all that is within the theme of we still live our lives even though we suffered these injustices, right?
Very true.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I'm keen to give it a rewatch. My wife hasn't seen it, so I'll see if she's interested in watching it. But I was extremely excited about seeing it. Going into it, I actually didn't know it was about vampires. I think when we saw the trailer, Jacob and I were discussing, was it something about like, I don't know, the town water sending people crazy, or was the music sending people psychotic? Like it wasn't obvious to me that it was about vampires.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. That was also good marketing on the trailer's part, because I enjoy when they do stuff like that, like the Odyssey or Sinners or stuff like that, like the trailer that doesn't, or Disclosure Day, like we were saying. Yeah, the trailer doesn't tell you this is what the movie's about. I like that, because then when you get there, you don't have these preconceived notions, and you kind of.
It's such a hard thing for trailers. I guess people that make them must have this dilemma of going, if we show too much, people are going to go into the movie and go, already seen that scene. We know that was happening. But then if you don't show enough, do people go, nah, it doesn't interest me. I don't want to see it. Like, it's such a fine line to try. And I guess if you're lucky enough to have superstars in your movie, you can show a very vague trailer. You could literally show a trailer that says Steve Rogers will be back. And people go, oh, I'll go see it. You know, like you don't need to know anything about the movie. You just got to have the IP to be able to do that.
Right. Correct. Yeah. I mean, but again, you work with what you have. have. Disclosure Day is working with.
If Sinners gave too much away, people might be a bit disappointed because they're like, oh, I thought this was heavily about vampires or something. Or if they show nothing, Michael B. Jordan is a big star, but there's a lot of people that also don't have a clue who Michael B. Jordan is, though. He's not Brad Pitt famous kind of thing.
Right.
So I guess it's a tough dilemma, I think, for people that make trailers to try and find out. I find comedies the worst, because I think a lot of comedies show the absolute funniest moments in the trailers, and it makes it no point watching the movie at all, because you just.
I agree.
That annoys me so much.
But then if the trailer isn't funny enough, then people won't go see the movie.
Yeah.
That's why they try to put the funniest stuff in the trailer, because they're like, oh, this is the funniest stuff in the movie. If people go see it, if people watch it, then they'll go see it. But then when they go see it, and that's the funniest part of the movie, they're like, why did I waste my 2 hours when I just saw this?
I guess now trailers are so different too, because people can rewatch them online, where before you'd see a trailer, you'd go to a movie and you saw a trailer and you only remember that little section you saw of it. You can't rewatch it, and you go, oh, I remember that trailer making it look good. But now you watch it on YouTube, you watch it 2 or 3 times, you go, yeah, I don't think so anymore. Like you can get it can either help or disadvantage a trailer a lot, the fact that you can rewatch it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's very different. I think as well too, knowing that things come out to streaming fairly quick now is a bit different than before, where I need to see this at the movies, because if I don't, it felt like a year by the time a movie became a VHS or DVD. It probably wasn't. It was probably like 2 months or something. But it
was a long time. It was a long time. But then also the biggest issue was after it came out on DVD or VHS or whatever, it would take another 2 years for that to be on like just regular cable television for you to see it with commercials. Like it. So you had to go see Lion King or Titanic or Terminator in theaters, because you weren't gonna see it for another good maybe 2-3 years.
It definitely built up movies that may not have been that popular because of that. Oh, I don't know when I'm going to get to see this. Where now, if it's not a big movie, or you're not really into movies, you'll go, I can wait. They'll be on Netflix in a year's time. I'll watch it then. Like so often the people go, yeah, that's a streaming movie. I'll just wait for streaming.
I agree. I agree 1,000%. I agree 1,000%. That's actually the dangers of Netflix now with the getting the deal? Yeah, the deal with Warner Brothers. Once they have the Warner Brothers studio, they're gonna allegedly play them in theaters, but then literally in a month it's going to be on Netflix. There's no digital arm of Netflix that goes to digital. Like there's no or DVD or anything like that. Like the DVD for any Warner property is probably dead now once Netflix takes over, because they don't even do DVDs for their properties. So as soon as this movie comes out, like there's no DVD right now for what's that movie that just came out with Benoit Blanc? Wake Up Dead Man. There's no DVD, Blu-ray, 4K box set for Wake Up Dead Man that I know of. So, and it played in theaters for like a second, and then they put it on Netflix, and that's it. And so if you don't watch it on Netflix,
it wouldn't be ideal for a consumer, but if they were to really delay how long a movie came to a streaming service, I think it would make cinema experience way better again. But then it'd be a disadvantage to people if you couldn't afford to go to or couldn't freely access a cinema. So it'd be sad to see that happen. But all these streaming services, from what I've heard recently, are kind of putting themselves out of business, because as their prices go up and the more of them people start to unsubscribe and just give up because there's too many choices. They're saying that they reckon like piracy is at almost an all-time high now. People are pirating movies. Music's meant to be something that's about to release like millions and millions of Spotify tracks for free for people to pirate, because I think people are getting sick of paying for stuff, and people are clever enough to go, well, I know a way of getting it for free. And
I'm not against it, because I understand. I understand. Like exactly. I have friends that are what's the word I'm looking for? Are Pirates of the Caribbean. And they're Jack Sparrows. And they get better quality on their version than I do paying for it. Like I get like if I'm paying, let's say, the lowest tier for Netflix with ads and all that stuff, I don't get the 4K version of Wake Up Dead Man. I get the 1080p or 480p version, and also depends on my streaming service, how powerful it is, how not my streaming service, my internet provider, how powerful it is, and how, so, but then they just download a literal 4K file, and now they have that movie in 4K wherever and whenever they want to, which is unfair for, obviously the payments for the distributors to pay the actors and everybody. But if the streaming services are doing this to the paying customers, I can kind of see why people get disillusioned and do what they want to do.
Well, it's one of those rare things in life where they created something to make life easier, but then
made it harder
long term. So originally, like when Netflix and that came out, you'd be like, oh, going and renting a DVD or paying for a one-off on Apple or whatever. You're like, this is a no-brainer. I'll get the streaming service. Now there's so many of them. You're like, no, I'm going back. I'm going to start pirating because this stuff is too expensive. Where they made life too easy. But yeah, I think as well, a lot of people don't feel too bad about pirating because I believe the streaming services pay the royalties like very, very minimally to the actors.
Correct.
So and to the people that actually make them. So if you're probably not taking too much money out of the people that need it, you're just taking money out of Netflix, who make.
Well, you want to anyway.
They're making record profits every single quarter, so they're definitely not short of a dollar. So.
Correct.
What does a movie have to do to make you want to go to the movies? Does it have to have an actor in it that you want to go and see, or what does it have to do to make you want to go and see it?
For me personally, it would have to be what Luke said, which is give me a trailer that I don't know what I'm going to go see. Because if I know what I'm going to go see, I'm going to do exactly what you guys have said, which is this is a streaming movie. I'm just going to wait for Netflix, or I'm going to wait for HBO Max, or I'm going to wait for Hulu or whatever it is. Because if, like what's the movie recently? Mercy. Mercy is a trailer that I saw that I was like, I've seen this movie, but with Ice Cube. And I saw it on Amazon Prime. So I'm just going to rewatch it when it comes out eventually on streaming. And I didn't go see Mercy. But then the trailer for what's the movie? Send Help came out. And although the trailer gave away pretty much everything that happened in that movie, it looked like a fun movie. And I was like, it looks like a fun time at the theater. I'll go watch it. Because stuff like that, there's different aspects, right? So like the Odyssey or Dune, this is like I don't want to get it spoiled, so I have to go watch it, right? Whereas like a Send Help is like, I feel like people are going to have fun and laugh and have fun in this movie, and I want to be there and have fun and laugh with other people as we watch this movie, right? So that's kind of like, those are different reasons that I go to the theater, right? But when I see like a Mercy or what's another movie I want to say? If you want to keep it horror, Primate, fun time. Time at the theater. It was so dumb. The trailer was hilarious. We laughed while we watched the trailer. So we're like, we're going to watch this movie in theaters. It's hilarious. And it was fun. And people had fun. And it was a fun time. Whereas there was this other movie that came out, I think, last January called Swimming Pools or something like that. It was about like a killer swimming pool. Yeah. The trailer looked horrendous. I already knew the movie was going to be garbage, so I'm like, I'll wait for streaming on that. And that's basically how I judge whether or not I want to go to the theater, right? Because yes, to your point, if these streaming services were to elongate the times that it would be going on streaming services, we would have to go to theaters to see them. But I still don't think that the movies that suck like that would make any money. That's why Warner Brothers has that 17 window that they do sometimes for some movies, like the movies that they see that aren't making any money, they shoot it to digital and they shoot it streaming really quickly. And then others, they don't. Like, I don't know if you know that like they pick and choose which ones. So Weapons, for example, was supposed to go to streaming a lot sooner than it did, but because it was doing so well, same thing with the Leonardo DiCaprio one, One Battle After Another. Yeah, all of them played for a really long time in theaters because they were doing so well, because the word of mouth was so good. But then something like what's another Warner Brothers property that went right to stream? A Companion, which I loved. I loved Companion. That was a great movie. It went to streaming almost after the second month that it came out because nobody knew about it, nobody had heard about it, and there was not like a big word of mouth for Companion. But Companion is a great movie. So, that, like I said, they pick and choose, and I don't think leaving them longer in theaters is going to make them any money if no one's going to watch it or no one's heard about it or whatever. So, it all depends.
Yeah. Sometimes the easier answer is just to stay home and watch it on a streaming service, unfortunately, even though the theater experience is more enjoyable, but it is more expensive because you got to buy the food and the tickets and everything just adds up at the theaters. But when you watch it at home, you can have what food you want. It's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, there's pros and cons, right?
Yeah,
And again, if you're like Luke and you're on your 150th movie and you're paid for it and it sucks.
They weren't all at the cinemas. That was over like streaming services and stuff. But I think there's no experience better than going to the cinemas. I think cinemas can make a average movie good. It can improve an experience because you're there. You just focused on what's going on, and sometimes just watching the people around you and the reactions you get off, it's like the difference between watching sport live or with friends or watching it by yourself. Sport is very different if you watch it by yourself. So I guess a movie is very similar too. It's nice to have people to feed off. Watching it sometimes, with two people on a lounge is fun, but I find myself commentating, talking about what's going on. So sometimes being stuck in a cinema and just focusing on the movie, I find that the best experience.
I agree. I enjoy that experience.
I love going to the cinemas and seeing a movie that you didn't know anything about. Last year I saw a few where I didn't even see the trailer beforehand. I was just like, I'm going to go on this day, let's watch it and see what happens. And I think every movie I did that with, I liked. And I don't know if that's because of no expectations going in.
I think so.
Yeah. Any more questions, Jacob? Or are we getting closer to wrapping it up?
I did have a question. What is your favorite rewatchable movie when it comes to watching it? Is it a yearly thing, or what's your favorite rewatchable movie?
Oh boy, there's a lot. I always rewatch Die Hard around Christmas time.
Yes, that's a good choice.
It's a Christmas movie, of course. I rewatch The Mask a lot of Jim Carrey movies. Liar Liar. What's that one where he says good afternoon, good evening, and good night?
That's not Anchorman. It's like something. It's like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but you know which one I'm talking about. But that one.
Yeah.
I watch it a lot.
Oh, no, sorry. No, I'm thinking different. I'm thinking of I'm getting the wrong movie. That's the one where the Truman Show is the one where it says.
The Truman Show, yes. The Truman
Show. Sorry. I was thinking of
them.
Bruce Almighty, but that's.
Oh, Bruce Almighty. That's another one. I watch that every couple of years, but I love Bruce Almighty. Yes. But yeah, like a lot of Jim Carrey movies I rewatch because I feel like they are feel good. They are never a bad time. The jokes always land, even if I know they're coming, even if I know all the lines. I love them. Space Jam was another one, the original Space Jam. I watched it thousands of times. But yeah, I would say those are the ones that I mostly go to most of the time. Yeah.
What is it about those movies that captivate you when you feel like you need to watch them?
I don't know. I think, like I said, it doesn't matter what mood I'm in. It always hits whichever. Like I pick a Jim Carrey movie for the most part, and they hit always. Even like lesser known ones, like Yes. There's this one where he's like Yes Man. He just says yes to everything. That's like a motivational film for me, and I'm just like, this is awesome. I love it. And not a lot of people know about that one, but it's really good. And yeah, just again, any Jim Carrey movie, try it. Put on any Jim Carrey movie, whatever, and it's just awesome times. Even the famous one, The Grinch. Also, obviously, I rewatched during Christmas.
Love The Grinch too.
Yeah.
Do you like him in the Sonic movies?
I do. I love him in the Sonic movies. Yes.
Would you like him to be in Sonic 4? Do you think they should cast a different villain or go in a different direction?
Nah. I mean, even if they have like another main villain, they got to put Jim Carrey in there. He's the one that makes these films, to be honest. I mean, Sonic is good, and Marston is also good, but without Jim Carrey, I don't think those movies work as well.
I actually agree with that. I actually don't. This might be a hot take, but as a character, I actually don't like Sonic that
Oh,
much.
that is a hot take.
Well, personally, I actually prefer the side characters and Jim Carrey as Robotnik personally, because I feel like Sonic doesn't actually grow throughout the movies. He kind of just stays the same,
Yeah.
and I don't like those archetype characters. Very much like Captain America. Like Captain America reminds me of that sort of archetype of characters, and I like it when characters grow and learn and kind of change throughout their story arc, I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
So, but I can see why people would like Sonic because he is a likable character.
Kids love Sonic. Let me tell you, they love Sonic.
Okay, you want to wrap it up, Jacob?
Okay, well, thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you, Wilson, for joining as well. And as always, let the force be with you and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.